So, welcome students. So, we are going to start our quantitative aptitude session from today. So, first we will be dealing with the basics of the topics. So, as you know, percentage, ratio and average are important topics. So, first we will be dealing with the basics of these topics and then we will be straight away going to the questions. That is basically our main focus. So, as you know, we are going to start from scratch. So, first we will be just discussing what is exactly a percentage. Okay. So, what is exactly a percentage? Say if I am just giving a percentage, say 35 percentage. Okay. What does it mean? Yeah, as you know, 35 percentage is 35 by 100. Okay. So, if a number has a percentage beside it, it basically means it is out of 100. So, if I am saying say 50 percentage, it is out of 100. Say if I am saying 125 percentage, what does it mean? It is basically out of 100. Okay. So, that is a basic concept of a percentage. Okay. Now, we know we have a mixed fraction concept as well. Say if I am giving a mixed fraction, say 16 2 by 3 percentage. Okay. So, first we will be just looking at how we can convert this mixed fraction into a proper fraction. This is basically a mixed percentage. So, how we can convert it into a fraction. So, that is the first thing we will be going to discuss. So, as you know, the first step will be multiply the term which is there in the denominator and the term which is there in the side. Okay. So, as we can see in this question, we have 3 here and we have 16 in the side part. So, first we have to take the product of these two numbers. So, as you know, 3 into 16 is what? 48. Then you have to add the number which is there in the numerator. Okay. So, as you can see, we have 2 in the numerator. So, add the product with that number. So, what we will be getting? 3 into 16 is 48 plus 2 will give us 50. So, we can write this as 50 by 3 percentage. Okay. As you know, as we said, 50 by 3 percentage basically means what? 50 by 3 into 100. Okay. So, we can just cancel out this. So, 50 2s are as 100. So, we can write this as basically 1 by 6. Okay. So, 16 2 by 3 percentage in fraction basically becomes what? 1 by 6. So, this is an important thing that we need to know because in some of the questions they will be giving these type of mixed fractions or mixed percentages. So, you have to be able to convert that into a proper fraction. That will make our question easier. Okay. So, we will be just looking at another example as well. Say if we are looking at if we are looking at another number, say 6 2 by 3 percentage. Okay. So, what we are going to do? We are just going to make this into a fraction. Okay. So, what was the step? First we have to multiply these two numbers, that is 3 into 6, that will give us 18. Then you have to add the term which is there in the numerator. Okay. So, what you are getting? 20 by 3. Okay. So, as you know, percentage is there. So, percentage basically means out of 100. So, denominator will carry 100. Okay. So, 25s are as 100. So, what you are getting here? 1 by 50. Okay. So, we are able to understand that 6 2 by 3 basically in fraction gives us what? 1 by 50. Okay. So, this was a basic concept. Now, we are going to study the important cases that you need to study. Okay. Because like I said, these things will come in the question directly. Okay. So, we are going to now move to the next topic. Okay. So, first topic is percentage to fraction conversions. Okay. So, we are going to discuss some of the important percentage to fraction conversion that we need to know. So, first we will be dealing with 33 1 by 3. Okay. How can you do that? Same process like we did in the last one. So, 33 1 by 3, first you have to just multiply these two numbers. So, 3 into 33 gives us 99 plus the value in the numerator is 1. So, basically it is 100 by 3. Also percentage, you have to multiply the denominator with 100 as well. So, we are just cancelling the 100 out, what we are getting? 1 by 3. Okay. So, the first point is that 33 1 by 3 percentage in fraction gives us what? 1 by 3. Okay. Now, we can just discuss the second one, that is 66 2 by 3. Same process, what we can do, first just multiply these two terms. Okay, so 3 into 66 gives us what? 198 plus 2 is there in the numerator, so just add it. So what you are getting? You are getting 200 by 3. Obviously into 100 is there in the denominator. If we are just cancelling it out, what we are getting in the fraction part here? Yeah, we are getting 2 by 3. Okay, so this is an important thing that you remember. 66 2 by 3 percentage in fraction gives us what? 2 by 3. Okay, so if I just looking here as well, 33 1 by 3 percentage into 2 or twice of 33 1 by 3 percentage is basically what? 66 2 by 3. So if 33 1 by 3 percentage in fraction gives us 1 by 3, obviously the double of that should give us 2 by 3. Okay, so likewise as well you can just remember that. Okay, yeah. Now we are moving to the next case, that is 16 2 by 3. Same process, how we can just convert. Yeah, 16 2 by 3 percentage. Okay, so what we are going to get? 3 into 16 plus 2. Okay, so that gives us 50 by 3 into 100. So if you just cancelling it out, you will be getting what? 1 by 6. Okay, so now we can see that 16 2 by 3 percentage gives us what? 1 by 6. Okay. Now we are moving to the next case, that is 8 1 by 3 percentage. What will it give us? That is 8 into 3 plus 1. Okay. So 8 3s are is 24 plus 1 will give us what? 25. So 25, okay, by 3 into 100. Okay. So 25 4s are is 100. So what is the fraction that we are getting here? 1 by 12. Okay. So this is also an important case, that 8 1 by 3 percentage gives us what? 1 by 12 here. Okay. Yeah. Now we can move to the next case, that is 14 2 by 7 percentage. Same process. What you are going to get? 14 into 7 plus 2. Okay. So 14 7s are is 98 plus 2 gives us 100. So this is basically 100 by 7 into 100. So 100 get cancelled out. So what is the fraction part that you are getting? We are getting 1 by 7 as a fraction part. Okay. Now we can move to the next case, that is 12 1 by 2 percentage. Same process we are going to follow. So this is basically 2 into 12 plus 1. Okay. So what we are getting there? Yeah, we are getting 25 by 2 into 100. So 25 4s are is 100, 2 4s are is basically 8. So the fraction part that you are getting here is 1 by 8. Okay. Now we can move to the next case, that is 11 1 by 9 percentage. Same process. So first you just multiply 9 into 11, then add the term which is there in the numerator part. So 9 into 11 gives us 99 plus 1 gives us 100. Okay. So we can write this as 100 by 9, okay, into 100. So 100 get cancelled out. What is the fraction part that you are getting? Yeah, we are getting 1 by 9. Okay. Yeah. Now I think we can move to the next situation. Okay, next case, what has been asked here? Yeah. We have to find here 6 2 by 3 percentage. Okay. So I think we have already discussed that, but we are just going to do it once again. The 6 2 by 3 percentage is basically what? 6 into 3 plus 2, that gives us 20 by 3, okay, into 100. So 25s are is 100. So what you are getting here? 1 by 50. Okay. So 6 2 by 3 percentage in fraction gives us what? 1 by 50. Okay. Now we can move to the next case, that is 6 1 by 4 percentage. Okay. What is that going to give us? Same process. Okay. 6 into 4 plus 1 by 100. So that is 25 by 4, okay, into 100. So 25 4s are is 100. So what we are getting here as fraction? 1 by 16. So this is also an important case, that 6 1 by 4 gives us what? Yeah, 1 by 60. Okay. Now we can move to the next case, that is 7 1 by 7 percentage. So what is the fraction that we are getting, or the product? 7 7s are is 49 plus 1 gives us 50. So this is basically 50 by 7 into 100. So 50 2s are is 100. So what you are getting as a fraction part here? 1 by 40. Yeah. Okay, so 7 1 by 7 percentage is giving us what? Yeah, 1 by 14 here. Okay, yeah. Now I think we can move to the next case. What is being asked in the next question? That is 22 2 by 9 percentage. Okay. So this we can discuss that as well. Okay. So 22 2 by 9 percentage. Okay. So first take the product. 22 into 9 gives us what? 198. Okay. Then plus 2 gives us 200. So 200 by 9 into 100. Okay, so if you are just cancelling out the 100, what is the fraction part that we are getting? Yeah, so we are getting 2 by 9. Okay, so this is also an important case, that 20 to 2 by 9 percentage gives us 2 by 9 as the fraction part. Now, the last case, 37 1 by 2 percentage. Okay, so this is also an important case. So same process, first multiply 37 and 2 and then add the term which is there in the numerator. Okay, so 37 into 2 gives us 74, plus 1 gives us 75. So 75 by 2 into 100. Okay, so we can just cancel 75 by 25. So 3 times and 4 times. So basically what we are going to get here is 3 by 8. So this is also an important case, that 37 1 by 2 is giving us what as a fraction? 3 by 8. Okay, so these are some of the important mixed percentages that you need to know. You have to remember the fraction part. Okay, so both ways you can do. You can just try it out in the question as well. Otherwise, if you know this part, it will be, that will make your calculation a bit more easier. Okay, so I hope that you got an idea how to convert a mixed percentage into a fraction. That will be important for us in the questions when we are going to discuss that. Okay. So I think now we can move to the actual part of our topic, that is percentage. Okay. Okay. So now we are going to just discuss some of the important questions that we need to know with regards to percentage. Okay. So first question as we are going to discuss. So they have given a data that A and B have rupees 75 and 60 with them respectively, and they have asked 4 questions. So we are going to discuss each question one by one. Okay. So the first question, what is being asked, the amount with A is how much percentage more than that with B. Okay. So the amount with A is how much percentage more than that of B is being asked. Okay. So how can we do it? There are 2 ways basically. If you are able to just try and connect it directly just by reading the question, you can do that. Otherwise, what is the method? We have a formula as well to just decode this question. Okay. So if you are just going by the basic method first, what is being asked? That is, the amount with A is how much percentage more than that with B. So basically what you have to do, we know the amounts of A and B. So if how much percentage more is being asked, obviously the numerator part, if they are asking say percentage more or percentage less, so both will have a same concept. So the concept will be, first take the difference. Okay, first what you have to do, you have to take the difference in the, first take the difference in the numerator part. Okay, now the denominator part what you have to take, just remember a word than. So if you are just able to see, we have a word than. So just remember the value which comes after than. Okay, the value which comes after than, you have to take that value in the denominator part. Okay, then obviously into 100 since they are asking the percentage. Okay, so this is a formula. If they are asking percentage more or less, we can use the same formula in both the cases. Okay, so just we are going to just repeat it once again. So numerator part you have to take the difference of the 2 numbers, okay, or the 2 values that we are comparing. The denominator part, take the value which comes after than. The question after than, which value, what value they are discussing, you have to take the value of that in the denominator part and you have to just multiply it by 100. Okay. Now if you are just comparing the first question, we can see that they are comparing the basically A and B. So A and B are having an amount of 75 and 60. So in the numerator part you have to take the difference. So 75 minus 60 will give us what? 15. Okay. So 15 is what will come in the numerator part. Now, in the denominator part what we said, the value which comes after than. So, if you just able to see in the question, after than in the first question they have said about b. So, what you have to do? You have to take the value of b in the denominator part. Okay. Now, value of b is what? 60. So, you have to take 60 in the denominator, okay, into 100. Okay. Now, if you are just doing it, 15 4s are is going to give us 60 and 100 by 4 is going to give us what? 25. So, we can say that, so if I got the answer as 25 percentage, so what does this basically mean? That value of A is 25 percentage more than that of B. Okay. So, I hope that you got this important concept. Now, we are going to move to the second question. Okay. So, just let me just rub it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. The second question, what does it say? Yeah. So, here in the second question they have asked, okay, the amount with B is how much percentage less than that with A. Okay. So, the what amount does B have, which when compared to A, how much percentage it is less, that is being asked. Okay. Now, same process, like I said, if they are asking percentage more or percentage less, the formula is the same, so you can use it directly. So, what did we study in the first question? Take the difference in the numerator part. Okay. So, difference will give us what? 75 minus 60 gives us, difference gives us what? 15. Now, the value which is said after than here is, okay, we are just seeing it, they have said about A. So, you have to take the value of A in the denominator here. Okay. So, value of A is what here? 75 into 100. Okay. Now, this is just a calculation part that you have to just take care of. So, if I am just cancelling 75 and 100 with 25, I will be getting 4 here, I will be getting 3 here. 15 by 3 gives us 5, okay, and 5 into 4 gives us what? 20 percentage. Okay. So, from here we understood that the value of that amount with B is how much percentage less than when compared to A, it is 20 percentage less. Okay. So, I hope that you got the first two questions, because it is very important. Okay. Now, we are going to move to the third and the fourth question. Okay. Okay. The third and fourth questions are a bit more direct. Okay. So, that does not require, I think, formula. So, third question, what is being asked? The amount with A is what percentage of that with B? So, A's amount is what percentage of that with B? So, here you have to just take the values according to the way they have given. So, first say they have given the value of A. So, take the value of A in the numerator part and then take the value of B in the denominator part, and obviously, since percentage is being asked, just do into 100. Okay. So, if you are just using the values, the value of A is what here? 75, okay. B's value is what? 60, okay, into 100. Okay. Now, just do the calculation part here. Okay. As we can see, in 75 and 60, we have a common of 15. So, this will go 5 times, this will go 4 times. Okay. 100 by 4 gives us what? 25. So, 5 into 25 is what? 125 percentage. Okay. So, value of A is 125 percentage. Okay. So, I hope that you got this as well. Okay. Now, we are moving to the fourth one. Fourth one is, say, directly opposite to the third question as they had asked. Okay. Now, if you just discussing the fourth question, what they have asked here, the amount with A, so the amount with B is what percentage of that with A. So, here what you have to do, take the first value that which they have asked is B, take that value in the numerator part, the value which they have set second, take that in the denominator part and just multiply it with 100. Okay. Now, B here is 60. So, 60 divided by A is what here? 75, okay, into 100. Okay. Now, if you just cancelling out the common terms, so if I just first I am going to cancel 60 and 75 by 15. So, what we will be getting? 4 by 5. So, 5 into 5 by 100 is 20. Okay. So, basically 4 into 20 will give us what? Yeah, 80 percentage. So, we can say the fourth answer will give us what? 80%. Okay, so I hope that you got that idea. If they are asking percentage more or percentage less, percentage more or less, we just discuss a formula, that is take the difference in the numerator part, and in the denominator part just remember value, the word than, which value is being said after than, we have to take that value in the denominator part. Okay, then just multiply that value with 100 as well. In the third and fourth question is a bit more directly, just take the values that is given in the order. The first, in the third question, as we say, first they have said about A, so take that value in the numerator part. Now second they have told about B, so take that in the denominator part and then multiply it with by 100. Okay, so same logic we discuss in the fourth question as well. Okay, so I hope that you got the basic of this 4 questions, because these will be very crucial in our main questions that we are going to discuss further. Okay, yeah. So I think now we can move to the next part. Okay, so here as well same question. Here they have given the weights of P and Q. They have given it as 40 kg and 50 kg respectively, and they have asked 2 questions. So I hope that you just pause the video, just write, just try this question. You will be, I think you will be able to do it easily, and then try to just see the solution. Okay. Now we are going to discuss it. The first question what they have asked, by what percentage the weight of Q more than that of P? Okay. So what was the formula that we discussed? Yeah, they have asked percentage more here. So what was the formula? Take the difference. Okay. So first you have to take the difference. So difference here of the data is 50 and 40. So obviously the difference is 10. So 10 you have to take that value in the numerator, and denominator, what was the shortcut that we discussed? Just try to find the value than. So value which is being said after than, you have to take that value in the denominator part. So after than they have told about P. So take the value of P in the denominator, then just multiply it with 100. Okay. Now just this is the calculation part that is left. So we can cancel a 10. So we are left with 100 by 4. So that we know gives us what? 25%. Okay, so here we can see the weight of Q is 25% more than that of P. Okay. Now I think we can move to the next question. So here they have asked in the B part, by what percentage is the weight of P less than that of Q? Okay, same process, less than or more than. Like we said, the process is the same. What was the process? Take the difference in the numerator part. So here 40 and 50 difference is the same. Okay. Denominator part, what was the logic? The value which is set after than. So the value which is set after than here is Q. So take the value of Q in the denominator. So that is 50 here into 100. Okay. So here again cancel it directly. 50 2s are is 100. So what you are getting as the answer here? 20%. So here we can say the weight of P is 20% less than that of Q. Okay, so I hope that you got a clarity regarding if they are asking percentage more or percentage less. Okay. Yeah. Now I think we can move to the next part. Okay. Now we are going to discuss some of the word problems that will be crucial for us in the main questions, as we said in the caselet part that we are going to discuss further. So this question, if you just reading it first, what they have asked, if Umesh's salary is 20% less than that of Rakesh's salary, by what percentage is Rakesh's salary more than Umesh's salary? Okay. So first statement, as we just discussed, they have told that Umesh's salary is 20% less than whom? Less than Rakesh's salary. Okay. So what was Rakesh's salary? So 20% less will be Umesh's salary. Okay. So if in percentage, as we know, if they haven't given a value, you can just assume the value, any value you can assume. Okay. So mostly what we do, we try to take the value as 100, because that will make our calculation a bit more easier. Okay. So as we can say here, see here in the first statement what they have told, Umesh's salary is 20% less than whom? Rakesh's salary. So they have compared Umesh's salary with respect to Rakesh's salary. Okay. So whose value we can take, whose salary here we can take as 100? Yeah, you have to take the salary of Rakesh as 100. Okay. So the first step is that we are assuming Rakesh's salary as 100. Okay, you can take any value. Why we are taking 100? Because from 100 to find the percentage, it is a bit more easier. So what we are doing, we are going to mark the value of Rakesh's salary as what? 100. Okay. Now the Umesh salary, what they have told, it is 20% less than Rakesh's salary. Okay. So as we can see, Rakesh's salary is 100 here. So 20% less than of 100 is what? So if you are just reducing 20% from 100, what you are going to get? You are going to get 80. Okay. So we can directly say here that Umesh's salary is what here? If Rakesh's salary is 80, 20% of 20% of 100 is 20. So let's basically just reduce that. So 20% less than 100 is basically what? 80. Okay. Otherwise you can just do this. 100% is the value that we have assumed for of Rakesh's salary. So what is 100% of 20? 100% of 20 is basically what? 20 itself. So they have told it is less. So you have to reduce that value. So if you are reducing 20 from 100, you are going to get directly 80. Okay. So we have got the salaries here now. So what is the question that they have asked here? By what percentage is Rakesh's salary more than Umesh's salary? Okay. Now Rakesh's salary they have compared with Umesh's salary. So see here they have told percentage more. So obviously we know the formula for that. So what we have discussed, percentage more, how we can do. Now take the difference. So here we are comparing the salaries of Rakesh and Umesh. So difference of 180 will give us what? 20 divided by. Okay. Now if you just see the value which they said after than is with regard to Umesh's salary. So you have to take the salary of Umesh in the denominator part. Okay. So here we will be having 80. Okay. Then obviously into 100 that we have to do. Okay. Now we know 20 4s are is 80 and 100 by 4 is going to give us what? 25%. Okay. So we can say that Rakesh's salary is what percentage more than Umesh's salary? Yeah, 25% more than Umesh's salary. Okay. So I hope that you got it. So the main point was that if they are not giving a value, you can assume a value. So mostly what we are going to do in percentages, we are going to take that value as 100 to make a calculation a bit more easy. Okay. So I hope that you got this idea. Okay. Now I think we can move to the next question. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So same conditions we have just we have kept Umesh and Rakesh itself, but we have just changed the question. Okay. So I hope that you just pause this video and just try it alone and then try to see the solution of this question. Okay. Yeah. Now if you are just discussing this question, what in this condition they have told that if Umesh's salary is 50% more than Rakesh's salary, then by what percentage is Rakesh's salary less than that of Umesh's salary? Okay. So same process here as well, they have compared Umesh's salary with Rakesh's salary. So what you have to do? You have to take Rakesh's salary as, like we did in the last question. What we can do? We can take Rakesh's salary as 100 here. Okay. So if you are taking Rakesh's salary as 100, Umesh's salary has to be what? 50% more than Rakesh's salary. So as we know, 50% of 100 is what? 50. So more basically we have to do, what you have to do? You have to add that value. So 50% of 100 is 50. So if you are adding 50 with 100, what you are going to get? 150. Okay. So here we can say if Rakesh's salary is 100, here Umesh's salary is what? 150. Okay. So we have got the values of Rakesh's salary and Umesh's salary is 150. Now we can just discuss the question what they have asked. Okay. Now they have asked is what percentage is Rakesh's salary less than that of Umesh's salary. Okay. So we know what is the percentage to find percentage less. What was the formula? Yeah, the difference. So here we are comparing the salary. So difference of 150 is what? 50. Now you have to take the value which is being said after that. So here they have said about Umesh's salary. So you have to take Umesh's salary. So, that is 150, so into 100. So, as we know 50 3s are is 150, 100 by 3 is basically what, if you are just calculating it, we are going to get it as 33.33%. Okay. So, as you know 33.33 percentage is same as 33 1 by 3 percentage. Okay. So, these both values are the same. So, by just looking into the options, we are getting the answer as option C, that is 33.33 percentage. Okay. So, I hope that you got this concept, okay, because this is very crucial now. Okay. Now, I think we can move to the next question. Okay. Okay. So, next question, if you are just reading the first question or the next one, Ashok's monthly income is increased by 20 percentage. Okay. So, his new monthly income is 7,200. Okay. So, his salary is increased by 20 percentage and his new income has become 7,200, and they have asked his initial monthly income. What is his initial monthly income? That is being asked here. Okay. So, how we can do it? There are a number of ways to do it. So, here as we can see, we are going to compare his initial salary. Okay. So, say if his initial salary was 100, what does the question say? His salary has increased by 20 percentage and that value basically has become 7,200. Now, from there we have to find his initial monthly income. So, what we can do is we can assume his initial monthly income that is being asked. Okay. So, what we can do, we can take his initial monthly income as, I am taking that value as 100x. Okay. So, x I have just kept to just say we are having any confusions, that will be removed. Okay. So, 100x is what we are taking his initial monthly income as. So, what does the question say? His income has increased by 20 percentage. So, 100x if it is his initial income, what has to be his new income? As we know 20 percentage of 100 is basically what, 20. So, we are increasing it. So, that is more conditions, we have to add that 20 there. So, we can say if his initial monthly income is, if his initial monthly income is 100x, his new monthly income has to be what here, 120x. Okay. So, I hope that you got that point. Okay. Now, this 7,200 basically means what? This is his new monthly income. We have got his new monthly income as 120x and they have given that actual value, the exact value of 120x as what? 7,200. So, what you can do is you can just compare both the values. Now, if you are just comparing that, you can write this as 120x is equal to basically what here? 7,200. Okay. Now, from there we can just find the value of x, that common value. So, x will be what here? What you have to do? We are going to take this 120 to this side. Okay. So, what you are going to get? 7,200 divided by 120. Okay. Now, if you are just dividing these values, you are going to get 60. So, the value of x is 60. What they have asked now? They have asked his initial monthly income. That is what? Initial monthly income is 100x. So, you have to find that value of 100x. Okay. So, x is 60. So, 100x will give us what? 100 into 60, that is 6,000. Okay. So, we have found his initial monthly income as basically here what? 6,000. So, one method is this. Okay. We are just taking his initial monthly income as 100x. Okay. And they had told that his income has increased by 20 percentage. So, we have increased 20 in 100x. So, we are getting that value as 120x. So, that value was given as 7,200 here. Okay. Now, from there we got his initial monthly income as what? 6,000. So, one method is this, another method we will be just showing it. So, which method is comfortable for you, you can just use that. Okay. So, the second method that we are going to just discuss is what you can do, you can just take his income as initial income as x as well. Okay. So, that is also a method that you can use. Okay. Another method will be taking his initial income as x. Okay. So, taking this as x, how we can do? As we know, his income has increased by 20 percentage. So, as you know, in percentage the base is always 100 So, if I increasing 20 percentage, we can say that if his initial income is X, so new income has to be 120 percentage of X. Okay. So, that value has been given as 7,200. Okay. I hope that you got the concept here. We have assumed his income as initial income as X. The question says that his income has increased by 20%. So, what does that mean? If his income initially was 100, that has become 120. So, 120 percentage of X is basically here now what? 7,200. Okay. Now, we have to find the value of X here because we have asked his initial income. So, just take this fraction to this side. Okay. What you are going to get? X is equal to 7,200 into this fraction to that side will give us 100 by 120. Okay. Just cancelling it out. Same 120 into 60 times is 7,200 and into 100 gives us the same answer as 6,000. So, anyway you are getting the same answer. So, I hope that you got both the concepts. Okay. Here we have taken his initial income as X. Okay. The first condition we took it as 100x to make our question a bit more easy. Okay. Yeah. Now, I think we can move to the next question. Okay. So, this is also an important concept. So, we can just read the question and discuss the concept here. Okay. So, here they have said that Kiran's salary was first increased by 30%. Okay. So, first is his salary has increased by 30%, then it has decreased by 30. Okay. Now, if his latest salary is 2275, then what was the original salary of Kiran? Okay. So, many of you might just mark the answer as 2275 and move to the next one, but that concept is wrong. Okay. So, if we are increasing a number by a percentage, so in this case it is 30 and we are reducing that by 30, the value won't be the same. Okay. So, that is an important point that we need to remember that. Okay. Now, we will be discussing how we can approach this question. So, likewise in this like in this previous question, you can assume his initial or his original salary as a value. Okay, same I am going to take it as 100x. So, we are going to assume his original salary as 100x. Okay. So, the first what condition is being said, first we are going to increase his salary by 30%. So, that calculation is easy. If his original salary is 100x, 30% increase will give us what? So, since it is 100, it is easy. Okay, 30% more of 100 basically is going to give us 130x. Okay, so we can say that if his original salary is 100x, 30% increase will give us his salary as 130x. Now, they have told, now we have decreased his salary by 30%. Okay. Now, the important point lies that now his salary is what? 130x. So, we have to reduce 30% from 130x. So, that is the important point. Okay. So, how we can reduce that? 30% of 130x. Okay. Two methods are there. First method, you can just directly find 30% of 130x. Okay. If you are doing that way, see 10 is common here, 10 is also common here. 13x into 3 gives us 39x. Okay. So, we understood that 30% of 130x is what? 39x. So, if you are just reducing if you are reducing 39x from 130x, you will be getting his basically his original or his present salary. Okay, as we can say. So, 39x, if you are just reducing that, what you are going to get? So, 130x minus 39x is going to give us 91x. So, this is basically his present salary, as we know. So, one method is that just find 30% of that. They are told it has decreased, so just reduce that value. Otherwise, what we can do? You can just find it directly as well. Second method will be, as we know, if you are reducing a number by 30%, it will be 70% of that value. Okay. So, that is also another method. So, we can do it that way as well, that is 130x into or 70% of 130x will be his present salary now. Okay. If you are just doing the calculation here as well, you are going to get the same answer as 91x. So, both methods are okay. both are going to give us the same answer. Okay. So, we have understood that his present salary is basically what 91x. So, if we are just comparing, say we had assumed his original salary is 100x and now his salary is only 91x. So, we can understand that his salary has decreased. Okay. Now, they have given his latest salary as 2275. So, what his latest salary we have got? We have got it as 91x, but in the question they have told it is 2275. So, just compare that. So, if you are just comparing it, what you are going to get, that is 91x is equal to 2275. We need to get the value of this x. So, take this 91 to that side. So, this will give us 2275 divided by 90. Now, if you are just dividing it, you are going to get 25. Okay. So, you have got the value of x as 25. Now, what they have asked? They have asked the original salary of Kiran. So, what is that basically here? Yeah, original salary is, we have taken it as 100x. So, just substitute the value of x in that value. So, 100 into 25. So, that is going to basically give us what? 100 into 25 is what? 2500. Okay. So, now we have got his original salary. So, his original salary is what here? Yeah, option C, that is 2500. Okay. So, an important question. I hope that you got the concept regarding this. Okay. So, just make sure you remember that if a number is being increased by say x percentage and we are reducing that same number by x percentage, the number will always reduce. Okay. Do not assume that it is going to remain the same. There will be a change in the value and obviously the value will decrease in most of the cases. Okay. So, I think now we can move to the next question. Okay. Okay. So, the next question, what they have said here, there is an increase of 30% in the production of milk in 1 month. Okay. Now, if now it is 9100, then what was it 1 month ago? Okay. So, what they have told that there was an increase of 30%. So, production had increased by 30% in 1 month. So, they have given the present production as 9100. So, we have to find what it was 1 month ago. Okay. So, as we know, they have compared it with basically last month. Okay. So, same process we can use here. We can assume his their production 1 month ago. So, we can assume the production 1 month ago as, since it is percentage, we can assume their production 1 month ago as 100x. So, that will make a calculation a bit more easier. Okay. So, what we are going to do, we have assumed his production 1 month ago as 100x. So, what they have told, there is an increase of 30%. So, as we know, if his 1 month ago, if his production is 100x, 30% increase will give us how much? That is, we can just write that production presently. Okay. Or production now will become, in 30% increase will give us what? 130x. Okay. So, now his production is, as we assumed, is 130x, but what is being said in the question? His production has become what? 9100. So, just compare both the values. If we are just comparing it, we can say that 130x is equal to what? Yeah, 130x is equal to 9100. Now, if we are just solving it, 10 is common. Taking this 13 to that side will give us x is equal to what? 9000. So, 910 by 13. If we are just cancelling it out, you are going to get the value of x as 70. So, value of x is 70. Now, what they have asked, what was the production 1 month ago? So, we have to assume that as 100x. So, since x is 70, 100x is going to give us the answer as what? 100 into 70, that is 7000. Okay. So, easily we have got the answer that his production 1 month ago was what? 7000. That is option B. Okay. So, I hope that you got a clarity regarding this question as well. Okay. So, now I think we can move to the next question. Okay. Okay. So, next question says that about Aditya and Bhaskar. So, they have given their initial salaries as 30,000 and 40,000, After an year, the salaries of Aditya and Bhaskar have increased by 30 and 25% respectively. So, the final question they have asked, by what amount is Bhaskar's salary more than Aditya's salary after the increments? Okay. So, easy question. They have given their initial salaries directly. So, as you can see, the initial salaries of Aditya, if we see, Aditya's initial salary is 30,000, okay, and Bhaskar's initial salary is what? 40,000. So, Bhaskar's initial salary is 40,000. Okay. Now, what they have told, there is an increment. So, in case of Aditya, the increment is 30%. So, two methods you can use, like we did in the previous questions. You can directly find 30% of 30,000 and just add that value to find his new salary. Otherwise, you can just calculate the 130% of his initial salary. That will also give us the answer directly. So, anyhow you can do, both will give us the correct answer. Okay. If I just trying with 130%, we can say 30,000 is his initial. Increase of 30% will make his salary 130% of his initial salary. Okay. Now, if we just cancelling out the values, 3000 into 13 will give us what? 39,000. Now, we can say that his salary now has become 39,000 after the increment. Okay. Now, in case of Bhaskar, the increment is 25%. So, what we can say, if his initial salary is now 40,000, so there is an increase of 25%, basically that means 125% of his initial salary, that is 40,000. If we just calculating that, cancelling out 100, so 125 into 4 is basically what? 500. So, into 100 is going to give us 50,000. Okay. So, we say that after the increment, Bhaskar's salary has become what? 50,000. Now, what they have asked in the final question? Yeah, by what amount is Bhaskar's salary more than Aditya's salary after the increment? So, after the increments, the salary has become 39 and 50,000. So, basically they have asked how much, by what amount is Bhaskar's salary more when compared to Aditya's salary. So, just find the difference of their salaries after the increment. Okay. So, their salary was 50,000 and 39,000. So, difference of that amount will give us what? 11,000. Okay. So, that is also there in the option. So, we can mark our answer here as what? 11,000. Okay. So, I hope that you got the solution of this question as well. Okay. So, same logic here, what we did, they had given their initial salaries directly, okay, and they had told that their salaries had increased by, in case of Aditya the increase was 30 and in case of Bhaskar it was 25. So, what we did, since Aditya's salary, initial salary is 30,000, we just find out 130% of his initial salary to find his salary after the increment. In case of Bhaskar, we did the same to find the answer as 50,000. Okay. So, here they had asked just the difference. Okay, what was the salary difference in salaries after the increment? So, difference is basically giving us what? 11,000. Okay. So, I hope that you got the solution of this question. Okay. Okay, so now I think we can move to the next question here. Okay, so what they have asked here, of the people who attended a party, 66 2/3% are men. Okay, in that 40% of the men and 50% of the total number of persons had left the party. So, what percentage of women had left the party? Okay, now if we, in this question if we see, they have told that total of out of how, so say they have told that who all have attended the party, in that 66 2/3% are men. So, that is an important concept. Now, 66 2/3 we have already discussed the fraction part of that. So, what is the fraction part? If we just solve it, 66 2/3% is going to give us 2/3. So, what does this 2/3 basically mean? If there are total 3 men, so denominator obviously indicates the total people. If say we are assuming there are if 3 people have attended the party, out of that 2 persons have to be what? Men. So, if 3 persons have attended the party, we can say that 2 are men and the remainder 1 person will be woman here. Okay. So, what you can do is, if you are converting it into a fraction, basically focus on the denominator part. So, what you can do, you can take a multiple of a denominator as the total persons. Okay. So, you can also take the value as 3 as the total number of persons and try to calculate it. But if you are making that value small, it will make your calculation a bit more tougher. So, what we do is we are just going to take this value as a bit more big value, but it has to be multiple of 3, that we need to just remember. So, what we are going to do, we are going to take 300 as the total number of persons. Okay. The first step is that we are going to take the total people as, like total persons as 300. Okay. So, I hope that you got the concept how we are taking it as 300. Okay. Now, in that what is been told, 2/3 are men. So, what is 2/3 of 300? So, that is easy. Okay. So, 2/3 of 300 is basically what? 200. So, we can say that out of 300 people, how many are men? 200 are men. So, obviously, the next 100 have to be women. Okay. So, the women in number are basically here what? 100. Okay. Yeah. Now, the second part of this, so we have just aligned this from the first part of the question. Now, the second part, what does it say? If 40% of the men and 50% of total number of persons have left the party. So, in the category of men, how many have left the party? 40%. So, we have assumed the total men here as 200. So, 40% of 200 is what? 40% of 200 will give us how much? As you know, it will give us 80. So, you understood that out of these 200 men, 80 persons or 80 men have left the party and 50% of the total number of persons have left the party. So, total number of persons we have assumed as 300. So, 50% of that is basically what? So, as you know, 50% of any number is half of the number. So, 50% of 300 is going to give us what? 150. So, we have understood that 150 people in total have left the party. Out of that, we already know that 80% are basically who? Men. So, how many women have left the party? Just take the difference. Okay. Total 150 persons have left the party. Of that, if 80 are men, remaining 70 have to be women. So, we have understood that 70 women have left the party. Now, what is the final question? What percentage of the women have left the party? That is the question. Okay. So, percentage of women that left the party. So, how we can calculate that? So, you just compare out of 100 women, 70 women have gone. So, we can directly say the answer has to be 70%. Okay. If you are just trying to calculate it, same. Out of 100, 70 women are going. So, 70 by 100 of 80. So, that also gives us the value of 70. Okay. So, advantage is 100 is that what value you are getting when compared to 100 will be an answer here. Okay. So, this is an important question. I hope that you got an idea. Okay. So, the main crux of this question was the 66 2 by 3. We converted that into a fraction and we said that the denominator part obviously is the total obviously. So, what you can do, you can take the total number of persons as the multiple of this denominator. So, like we saw in this case, we took a multiple of 3, that is 300 as the total persons. So, that made a calculation a bit more easy. Okay. So, this is the concept that you need to develop to do these type of questions easily. Okay. Yeah. So, I think now we can move to the next part. Okay. The next question. Now, this is also an important question. First, we will just going through the question. What they have told, Mandeep gave 20% of the apples with him to his father. Okay. Then he gave 30% of the remaining to his mother, 50% of what remained to his brother, and kept the remaining with him. Okay. So, what percentage of total number of apples he initially had does he now have with him? So, what we have to do here first, they haven't given how many apples Mandeep had initially. So, we can assume that value. So, what we are going to do is, we are going to take the apples with Mandeep, or the Mandeep's, okay, number of apples. So we can assume any value. I am going to take that value, say as 100x. You can take it as 100 as well. So what we are going to be doing, we are taking it as 100x. Okay. Now the first point, what does it say? He gave 20% of the apples with him to his father. So we have assumed that he has 100x apples. So 20% of that is what? 100x is the total. So 20% of this is basically what? 20x. So out of 100x, 20x has went to the father. Okay. Or he gave it to his father. Okay. Now what is the remaining? Remaining will be 80x. Okay. Now the second point, what does he say? He gave 30% of the remaining. That is an important point. Okay. So what is remaining? In that he is given 30% of his mother. So as we saw, if he has 100x, we have assumed he has 100x apples. So he has given 20% of that, or 20x to his father. So the remaining is 80x. Now 30% of 80x is he has given to his mother. So we can calculate that as well. So what is 30% of 80x? Okay, if you are just calculating that, what you are going to get, it as 24x. So 24x is what he has given to his mother. Okay. So out of 80x, he has given 24x to his mother. So what is now remaining with him? So 80x minus 24x, that is going to give us what? 56x. So we can say that he is now left with 56x apples. Okay. Now the last point, it says that 50% of what remained to his brother. Now what is remaining now with him after giving to his mother? Out of that, 50% he has given directly to his brother. So 50%, as we saw, is half of the value that is remaining. So 56x, 50% of that has to be half of 56x, that is 28x. So he has given this to his brother. Now what is remaining with him? We can say it is 28x itself. So this is what is remaining after he has given his share of apples to his father, mother and brother. Okay. Now what is the last question that they have asked? What percentage of total number of apples he initially had does he now have with him? Okay. So if we just comparing that, now how much apple he has? 28x. What does he initially had? 100x. So in percentage we have to talk. So this is also an easy concept. So out of 100x that he initially had, he is now only left with 28x. We have to find the percentage. So just do into 100. Okay. So the x part is being cancelled, 100 is also cancelled. So we can directly say what is the percentage of apples he is left with. We can say that it is basically here 28x. Okay. So the answer here we can mark it as 28x. Okay. So I hope that you got this question as well. Here we did here the same concept. We didn't have the number of apples he initially had. We took it as 100x. And we did the calculations based on the question that they have told. So this here as well, that remaining was an important concept. So that was also an important thing that we discussed here. So I hope that you got the solution of this question as well. Okay. Now I think we can move to the next part. Okay. So next question we are going to see. Here they have told that the production of rice in city X in 2018 was 30,000 tons, okay, and it was increased by 3,000 tons in from 2017 to 18. Okay, so what is the final question that they have asked? What is the percentage increase in the production of rice from 2017 to 18? So what is the percentage increase that they have asked here? Okay, so I think you got the question basically here. So they have given that the production of rice in 2018 is 30,000 tons. Okay. Now they are told from 2017 to 18, that is the previous year. So from comparing from 2017 to 18, there is an increase of 3,000 tons. So here there is an increase of 3,000 tons. So we can easily assume that from 2017 what has to be his production. That means increase of 3,000 is giving his present production as 30,000. So obviously In 2017 his production has to be how much? 27,000. Okay. I hope that you got that point. Now what is the final question that you asked? What is the percentage increase in the production of rice from 2017 to 20? So what is the increase, percentage increase that they have asked? Okay. Now percentage increase or percentage decrease, two concepts you could be asked. So here as well we can use a formula to find these conditions as well. So first I will just saying the formula, or what we can do. Okay, first we will be just discussing the basic concept. After that I think we can connect it with the formula. So what does this percentage increase basically mean? Say I am taking another example, not this question, I am taking another example. If in a certain exam, say if you are taking an example of CLAT, so say I am assuming that you have written CLAT 2 times. First, in the first exam, say you are getting, if I am saying you are getting 120 marks, just for an assumption. Now in the second year when you are writing, you have got, say I am assuming you have got 200 marks. Okay. So what from these two data, what you can say? So assuming that in 2025 you are getting 120 marks, in 2026 say you are getting 200 marks. Okay. So from these data you can easily say that your mark have increased. So if they are asking by what percentage, what you have to do? The formula will be what will be the concept? Take the difference in the numerator. Take the difference in the numerator, that is 80 is the increase. Now in the denominator, obviously remember we say the initial value or the base value. Okay. So here the base value of the initial value is 120 into 100. Now from here we can say that what is the percentage increase. So this is the concept that you need to remember. Okay, that is the percentage increase or decrease. If they are asking, so just remember the formula. You have to take the difference of the two values in the numerator part. In the denominator part, what do you have to do? You have to take the initial value or the base value. Just remember that. Okay, you have to take the initial or the base value. Okay, into 100. Okay, and this question, if we see the difference is what is the increase here? 3000 tons is the increase, so you can take that value in the numerator. Now here the initial value will be the production of the year 2017, so that is 27,000 into 100. Okay, now if you just calculating that here, 100 is common, another 10 is common, in 327 what is common? 100, sorry, 3 is common, so 100 by 9 we can just connect it. So 100 by 9 I think we have discussed already, that will give us what? 11.11%. Okay, so we can say the production has increased by 11.11% based on the last year. Okay, so this is also an important concept that you need to remember. Okay, so make sure that the concept is simple. If they are asking percentage increase or decrease, take the difference in the numerator. In the denominator, always take the initial value or the base value, or the value that comes first. Okay, so because from that data only you are able to understand that if the value has increased or decreased. So that you have to keep in mind. Okay. Okay, another question I think we can discuss. So in this question, what they are told, in 2016, the quantity of sugar produced in state A was 30,000 tons. Okay. Now from 2016 to 17, the quantity of sugar produced increased by 33.13%. So what was the production of sugar in production of sugar in 2017 in state A? So here as well they have given 2 years. In 2016 they have told that it was 30,000 tons. Okay. Now in the next year, that is 2017, they have told that there is an increase of 33.13% in the production, or the production has increased by 33.13%. So we need to find what was the production in 2017. Okay. So here the percentage is the main concept here. The 33.13%, I hope you have got that the fraction part has to be, or what it is, 1 by 3. Okay. Now, if you are getting a fraction, now from there you can easily find what they have told here. There is an increase of 33 1 by 3 percentage in the production. So, just remember, when they are saying there is an increase, just add the numerator and denominator part, okay, and place that value in the numerator part, and the base remains the same. So, we can say if there is an increase of 33 1 by 3 percentage in the production, the new production has to be 4/3 of the initial production. Okay. I hope that you got it. We are just going to repeat it once again. What we saw here, 33 1 by 3 percentage, the production has increased. So, like I said, 1/3 is a fraction. Increase basically means just add the numerator and denominator part and place that value in the numerator part. Denominator remains the same. So, here we can say that the production in 2017 has to be 4/3 of the initial production. So, in this question we can say 2016's 17's production has to be 4/3 of 2016's production. Okay. Now, if we just solving that, then 2016 it is 30,000 and 4/3 of 30,000 is what you are going to get. You are going to get that value as 40,000. Okay. So, we are getting the answer, as 40,000. Okay. Say if they had told there is a decrease of 33 1 by 3 percentage, then what will be a logic? They are saying the decrease, you are just reduce the values and place that value in the numerator. Say they are saying that there is a decrease of 33 1 by 3 percentage, then the value has to be 3 minus 1 2. You have to place that value in the numerator and the base won't change, base has to be 3 itself. So, if they have told that there is a decrease of 33 1 by 3 percentage, we can say when compared to the last year, the production was 2/3 of the production that was last year. Okay. So, I hope that you got that point. Okay. We can just take an example as well. If say they were saying that there is an increase of 16 2 by 3 percentage, they were saying that there was an increase in the production of 16 2 by 3, then what will be a fraction? I hope you have understood that. That is 50 is 1/6. Okay. So, 1/6 increase, basically what does you have to do? Just add the terms which are there in the numerator denominator, place that value in the numerator and the denominator is the same. So, we can say the value will be 7/6 of the initial value. Okay. So, this is an important concept. This will be very useful in the questions as well. Okay. Now, I think we can move to the next question. Okay. Okay. Now, the next question, what does it say? That if P's income is 25% more than Q's income and Q's income is 40% less than R's income, then by what percentage is R's income more than that of P? So, here they have compared their incomes. Okay. So, how we can do? We can just discuss that. The first statement says that P's income is 25% more than Q. So, what is P's income? That is more than 25% compared to Q. And Q's income is what? 40% less than when compared to R. Okay. So, there are different methods to solve it. So, the method that we can use is just try to start from the last part. Okay. So, what we can do is we can just take the income of R as 100, that will make a calculation a bit more easier. Okay. As we can see here. So, if I am taking income of R as 100, say, now Q and R, what is the relation? The income of Q is 40% less than that of R. So, if I am assuming that R's income is 100, then Q's income has to be 40% of 100 is what? 40. There is a decrease of that. So, Q's income has to be what? 60. Now, you can just compare P and Q. So, P's income is what? 25% more than Q. So, what we can say? That Q's income is 60. So, 60 is 25% increase, we can say that. What is Q's income? That value is 125% has to be what? P's income. Okay. So, 125% is basically here what, if you are just cancelling it out, we are going to get the value as 75. Okay. So, if Q's income is 60, 25 percentage more means P's income has to be 75. Okay. So, as we can see, we have got their incomes. When R's income is 100, Q's income has to be 60 and P's income is how much? 75. Okay. Now, we can just connect the last question what they have asked. They have asked that then by what percentage is R's income more than that of P? So, R's income when compared to P is how much percentage more? So, we have already discussed that concept as well. Percentage more, what was the formula? Difference. So, they are comparing R and P. So, their incomes are 175. So, difference is 25. Now, after then they have told about P. So, you have to connect the value of P here. So, P's income is 75, okay, into 100. Okay. You just have to calculate. So, 25 3s are is 75, 100 by 3 as we know is 33.33 percentage. So, we can say that R's income is what percentage more than when compared to P, it is 33.33 percentage. Okay. So, I hope that you got it. So, in this case the main concept is just try to start from the last part. Okay. Take here they are told R's income in the last position. So, try to start from the back, that will make this calculation a bit more easier. Okay. So, I hope that you got this concept as well. Okay. Now, I think we can move to the next part. Okay. Okay. So, I hope that you got this concepts in the session which we have discussed now. Okay. So, now we will be discussing the next concepts in the next session. So, for now we are going to wind up this session. Okay. So, thank you very much.